We all enjoy and need clean water. It provides the basics for relaxation and recreation. Human beings require it for life. In fact, all animal and vegetable life require clean water to sustain life. A major environmental concern today is the condition of our natural waterways, groundwaters, rivers, streams, lakes, and oceans. These waterways face contamination from pollution generated by the use of detergents, gasoline, oils, lubricants, and other chemicals. These pollutants routinely wash off vehicles, pavement, and storage areas, and ultimately find their way into the public drainage system, mixing with natural water sources. Intentional or accidental, these activities are illegal. Whether through spillage, industrial discharge, or as hydrocarbon buildup at parking lots or storage areas, two of the greatest challenges to clean water are industrial washdown activities and rainfall. Many pollutants enter the water system through the first flush, the first few minutes of falling rain. Wouldn't it be wonderful if pollutants could be skimmed off the rain or wash water, diverted away from the natural water runoff for treatment, and the clean water could proceed to the main drainage system? What a great idea!
Automobiles and non-point source pollution right now, fertilizers from agricultural, those are the real problems. We have a pretty good handle, I think, in the country on our point source runoff, for example, wastewater plants or industry in general. So it's the non-point source pollution that we have the real problem with, and it'll be the hardest thing to tackle right now.
Let's face it, we live in a society where huge amounts of pollutants are generated and easily washed into our water sources. And it is much harder to remove pollutants from the water once mixed together. The best solution is to divert and treat pollution before it enters the stormwater runoff system. Fox Environmental and wastewater diversion systems bring you a variety of washdown, first flush, and spill protection systems. With a little forethought, even a small investment will provide enormous protection to our environment.
Well, we're using some of the Fox flush system, first flush on the basin, a couple different places. We have some demand systems at some wash racks. We've just built a sediment wash rack with a very long trench to capture sediment, but at the end of that we also put in this system to pick up the hydrocarbons that might be in the water. We also just constructed the large one at the 240th motor pool, and it has a sluice gate valve on it. The reason for that is there could possibly be large quantities of petroleum there, tankers, 5,000-gallon tankers, and we want to be able to detect that if there's a large spill and basically shut off the pipe and have barrel storage in the pipe so that we can respond to that quickly without polluting the further downstream. And that's critical to us because right downstream from that, another 20 feet is the National Park Service, and they are very intense on pollution prevention in their environment.
All systems are based on the proven design of the Fox diversion valve, which is the original, and still the simplest, way of ensuring the diversion of contaminated runoff away from the stormwater system and subsequent waterways. Let's look at each model and its application. The DD400 and DD600 are used for washdown applications. The DD400 is installed for waste bin wash areas or residential car wash areas, while the DD600 is used for larger applications, such as truck wash depots or commercial garbage bin areas. Washdown waters will contain not only detergents, but also significant amounts of free-floating hydrocarbons, such as leaking oils, gasoline, and lubricants. The DD stands for demand-driven, and the working mechanics are simple. When the washdown hose is in use, a sensor opens the pit valve, diverting the contaminated water to a holding tank for treatment. When not in use, the valve remains closed, diverting clean rainwater to storm drainage. An FF600 system is used for areas so large or open that pollutants accumulate despite good washdown practices. These locations can be airports, large truck maintenance areas, construction equipment storage sites, and large parking lots. If there are any contaminants left on the surface, they will be washed into the storm water system with the next rainfall. Diverting this contaminated first flush of rainfall creates enormous benefit to the environment. The Fox Model FF600 serves two functions. It is a demand-driven system that can handle several washpoint locations, diverting washdown pollutants to holding areas for treatment. When not in use as a demand-driven unit, it serves as a first flush application, controlled by a programmable sensor that effectively measures and diverts the first flush of rain to the treatment area. The Fox Model SCS600 diversion system is designed to detect, divert, and notify when there are free-floating hydrocarbons in storm water runoff. During normal operation, all rain and washdown runoff leaves the protected area through the SCS600 chamber. A sensor in the chamber detects the concentration of pollutants. If the sensor detects a significant volume of hydrocarbons, indicating a spill, the system sounds an alarm, opens the valves, and diverts all flow to a holding area, and prevents the spill from entering public waters. For added security, the entry points can be gated and closed to ensure that the spill is contained. At this location, for example, the sensor detects the motor oil. The valve opens, diverting the pollutants, and the gates close to completely contain the spill. When the sensors detect no more hydrocarbons, the valves close and the system continues to operate as a first flush system. The SCS600 is usually programmed to cycle regularly to prevent any pollution from entering public waterways. This system is very effective at protecting sensitive areas, such as parks or farmlands, which are located near a large commercial or military installation.
The Army is a steward of the environment. We control a lot of critical habitat, a lot of land in the country. At Fort Lee, the Environmental Management Office's motto is protecting the land we defend. So that kind of succinctly tells you where we're coming from here. Environment is a mission of the Army. It also allows the troops to continue their training mission, and when they continue their training mission, then they can adequately protect the country.
Wastewater Diversion Systems has installed diversion systems in Richmond, Virginia, Norfolk, Virginia, Los Angeles, California, and elsewhere. Our clients would be happy to talk to you about the effectiveness of their systems. Even the smallest installation of a water diversion system makes an enormous contribution towards a cleaner world. Which product is right for your company or application? Call this number or go to our website.